here's something I've always found a bit funny about sales and salespeople. So we all agree that every buyer is different, and that's why a lot of people don't like the idea of automated AI outbound, right? It's not as personalised and human as it actually should be. But then when it comes to the kind of what happens when they become an engaged lead, or once they become an opportunity, we treat them the same. So we put them on the same sequence and treat them all the same. And maybe we have a variant here and there. Maybe we have a couple of different sequences, but by and large, people are put on treatment paths and they're processed through the factory. And so in one breath, we scoff at brute force and we say that no, precision matters. But on the other hand, we say, oh, actually, because we're not sure what to do, we're actually just going to use brute force. We're not going to consider this on a person by person basis. And I think it's a massive mistake. And it's where, at least in my experience working with some massive sales teams, has led to a really profound impact on the end of the process, the revenue that you collect through your sales funnel, right? I think the question isn't how do we do more and how do we process more leads through a pipeline, which is what a lot of sales leaders ask. I think it kind of comes down to how do we do more with the pipeline that we have and how do we actually personalize our interactions. And I think until recently there wasn't really a good way to do that at scale because you had two main problems. You couldn't really identify what the next best action was for each individual prospect in your pipeline, and then you couldn't properly allocate the finite amount of resource of salesperson time of however many calls you have in a day to those leads. So you have these two very, very difficult problems. The interesting part about this that I don't think a lot of sales leaders understand is that the data to answer those questions about precision and resource allocation is kind of sitting right under their nose. It's inside their CRM. And so at TrueState, we think about this process in two parts. You first have to learn how your pipeline works. You need to learn the incremental impact of a call or an email or an SMS. And once you do that, you move on to optimization. And so it's essentially optimizing, say you have 100 calls, where can I get the best bang for my buck of those 100 calls across all my prospects, given where they all are in the pipeline, their demographics, their firmographic data, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so in terms of like how does this work on a day-to-day basis, it doesn't have to be complicated tech in terms of a new platform to integrate with. It can be as simple as an emailed list to every rep recommending the top 50 people they engage with and how they should engage with them. But I think we get so caught up in sales tech that we want to have a new platform for this and a new tool for that. And realistically, it can be the simple algorithmic outputs of a well-trained solution that get you from brute force to precision. And so I would say to people who are thinking about growing their sales team, about building a capacity and a brute force sales engine, like just stop and consider, have you appropriately addressed personalization inside of your sales pipeline? Are you properly personalizing the sales journey for people? Or are you treating them like an AI automation agency would to collecting leads? Are you treating everything like a brute force problem? If you want to understand the potential benefits of precision for your pipeline, my team and I have built a tool. There's a link for it in the comments of this video, and you can head there. It's completely free, and just see what the incremental impact of more precise engagement might have for your pipeline.